Welcome back. In this lecture, we'll cover international bond market. We know that bond is a long-term debt instruments and international bonds can be classified as either foreign bonds or euro bonds. Let's look at the foreign bonds. Let me give you an example of foreign bonds. Assume that Bangladesh government has issued a bond in USA in US dollar. In that case, these Bangladeshi government bond in USA will be known as foreign bond issued by the Bangladesh government definitely. So foreign bonds are issued by the foreign firms or government to a country where the dominated currency of that bond is in the currency of the country where it is placed. On the other hand, euro bonds are sold in countries other than the country of origin. In the meantime, the euro bonds are dominated in the domestic currency. Now let's take it an example. Assume that Bangladesh government has issued bond in USA and the dominated currency of Bangladesh government bond is Taka. In this case, these bonds will be known as euro bonds. So once again, euro bonds does not mean that the dominated currencies of these bonds are euro or these bonds are issued in Europe. So don't be confused with euro and euro bonds. Now let's look at the features, some features of euro bond. First of all, euro bonds are bearer bonds. These bonds provide annual coupon payments. So in case of euro bonds, there will not be any semi-annual or quarterly coupon payments. Only annual coupon payments will be paid by the euro bonds normally. Euro bonds could be convertible or callable. Now in terms of currency dominations, euro bonds are dominated in a number of currencies. And underwriting process, there could be multinational syndicate simultaneously. Therefore, these bonds might be placed in many countries. And there is also an active secondary market for the euro bonds. So market makers are in many cases the same underwriters who sell the primary issues. Now let's look at the development of other bond markets. Bond markets are also developed in Asia and South America. And it is often seen that yields or returns or simply the interest rates of bonds are highly correlated over the time among the countries. When the economic condition is poor, there will be less demand for funds by corporations. In this case, it will be less likely that multinational corporations or simply the corporations or corporations will issue bond to the international market or even the domestic market. On the other hand, if the economic condition is favorable, in that case, there will be more chance of business expansion. And in this case, corporations are more likely to issue bonds in domestic and international market. International bonds are also exposed to risks. First of all, the credit risk. It represents the potential of default. So if an international bond issuer defaults, if there is any probability that international bond issuers might default, this will be known as credit risk. Then interest rate risk. If there is a chance that value of the bond will decline in response to raising long-term interest rate, so that's known as interest rate risk. Once again, if there is a possibility that value of the bond will decrease because of increasing long-term interest rate is called interest rate risk. And definitely, international bonds are exposed to exchange rate risks because international bonds generate cash flows, whether it is inflows or outflows in foreign currencies. So exchange rate risks uh, are applicable for international bonds. Finally, liquidity risks. It represents the possibility that value of a bond will decline because there is not an active secondary market for the bond. So if there is not an active secondary market for a bond, international bond, the value of that bond will decline because there will be less buyer and sellers of that bond. That's all about this lecture. In your next lecture, we'll cover international stock market.